Okay.
Okay, so since I just interrupted everybody and I wanted to jump in, I was so inspired by Barbara, who wrote her essay. And I remember when RD brought it up last year, and I thought about it and thought about it. And guess what? After Barbara inspired me, I wrote it in like 10 minutes. It was like, boom, like what took me so long? So I figured I better share it while strike while the iron is hot, right? So this is what I wrote. The healing power of music. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So growing up, I was a scaredy cat, and also called Sarah Bernhardt for my dramatic crocodile tears. Oi, so many labels. As a teenager, I began to become more comfortable with myself. Not a sports fan. Oh, I would close my eyes when a ball was thrown my way. I opted for dance instead of gym. My best friend's mom had a local dance studio. So to spend more time with her, I signed up for dance lessons, jazz, tap, and ballet. In the beginning, I was always in the back row, my eyes glued to follow others. One day, I didn't have to follow the dancer in front of me or look in the mirror. The freedom to dance with the music began. Around the same time, I graduated college and I got my first job in the fashion industry. I can still feel the heat on my face as I recall how self-conscious I was to meet the designers for whom I would be manufacturing sweaters. The more self-conscious I felt, the redder my face began to glow. It was painful. Then one night, joking around dancing in my friend's kitchen, her mom liked what she saw and offered me a solo in the recital. I was already 18 years old. Next, my dance teacher invited me to a dance conference in New York City. Wowza. I was thrilled that she chose me. I was so impressed with one of the teachers, I began taking professional jazz dances with New York City with Frank Hatchett. The confidence my dance teacher had in me and the guts to take this class in New York City with real dancers changed everything. I began dancing with the music within me, not needing to follow anyone else. Years later, I found ballroom dancing and became an amateur competitor. When I'm dancing, I'm one with the music. I'm in my glory. I can do anything. The music has such power. I merge with the music and we become one. I always loved music. Growing up, you would find me with a transistor radio always playing. And now through dance, I've connected with the absolute power. I feel the magic filling up with the music. Music and dance healed my self-consciousness and brought me the confidence to be me. I can hear a song and feel every emotion I felt the very first time I heard it. I am transported in time. I choose music to fit my mood. When I got married, I gave my husband Ray 10 dance lessons as part of his wedding gift. We were dancing up until the time of his untimely death. In fact, the day he died, we had had a date to go dancing with our favorite couple. After Ray died, I couldn't bring myself to go to a dance studio or have anything to do with dancing. Music helped heal my grief. I remember driving around listening to Leanne Rimes sing, "How Can I Live Without You?" I felt the tears in my stomach, in my heart, my throat, and in my head. Eventually, I put on my dancing shoes and danced again. Transitioning from grief to a new living, I began to go out singing karaoke, first with a friend and then all by myself. The music gave me confidence once more as it filled and merged with me. Labels no longer define me. When my family reminisce about my crying scaredy cat days, I laugh along with them. Today, I have two of my favorite ballroom dancing photos in my office, reminding me how dancing merges the music within me. I can do anything. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very wonderful. Wow.
Wonderful.
And I was thinking of you as I wrote it because I'm like, oh, he'll get it. I know he'll get it. You can feel the music, that it's part of you. You just merge and become one.
That filled me up.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Such great energy, Lois. Thank you.
Hmm.
And
I totally agree.
And Heather's shirt is the Beatles, and one of their songs is "She Loves You." Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I guess we always mind meld.
My nickname when I was young was Sarah Bernhardt.
Oh, we must have been sisters.
Oh.
Yep,
I
Sarah
didn't know who
Bernhardt.
she was. I didn't know why they were calling me that, but that's what they called me.
Were you very dramatic?
I didn't think I was, but I guess some people thought I was.
My mother used that name as well to anyone who, fit the bill for that particular moment. So I was, my sister was, anybody, I guess, who complained or carried on, made a big deal out of, we'll give you something to cry for type of thing.
Oh yeah, I'll give you something to cry about. What are you crying now for? I mean, now I can laugh. It's really funny when I think about it. But when I was a kid, all it did was make me cry some more.
Right.
And I was really dramatic. I've even seen 8mm movies of myself doing like bizarre dramatic things like and I just have to laugh. I said, well, now I know why. I got a 1, I got a 9, I got the water, I got the fire. So if I'm going to cry, it's going to be dramatic. It's not going to be soft and light.
My grandma Goldie once called me Sarah Heartburn when I was crying over something ridiculous. She didn't know, She just thought that's what it sounded like.
That's great.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Mhm.
Music really does, permeate our souls and our spirit. And, whether you're dancing or just listening to music, I mean, yes, we are transported literally into another world if you really listen to the music or be with the music. I think that's absolutely, and thank you for sharing, Lois, your journey through the music and the grief and, and the times of your life. That was very touching for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always there. It was always there. Oh, Leticia, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Lois. I loved it. And I loved how you said, when I'm dancing, I'm one with the music. But I loved how you said, I'm in my glory. Oh, I love that. It's splendor. It's limitless. It's divine, as Barbara would say. It's absolutely wonderful. It's as if you're, in French, we would say, tu rayonnes, you're showing your light. Oh, I love that. And it's so you. It's so you. It's so you. Thank you. I really love that. And how, as already said, when you spoke about when you used to dance with Ray and how you transitioned, that's really coming full circle and expanding it all. Wow. Thank you. I love you.
Yeah, it's there's like there's nothing else there when I'm in that zone. And it was such a graduation for me to not have to look at anybody in front of me and look in the mirror when I was dancing in the dance studio. Because these kids had been dancing these ballet and tap and jazz all their lives. I had only done modern. So it was a lot new for me to start as the elder, but to be able to just not have to watch anybody and just dance to the music was so liberating. It really was a big step.
Yeah. It was like you're dancing with your own soul. It's very beautiful.
Yes.
Very beautiful. I love it. I love hearing you write about that. It sounds like dance is one of your elements. I'm sure you have more than just one, but dancing is one of your elements, and it's just wonderful the way dance in your life has always been there in one way or another, that inspired you, that saved you, that brought you peace, that helped you to release all the labels. I like that part especially because we have so many labels.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice through dance. It's like all this time you've been dancing with the universe, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Thank you. And the other thing that inspired me when we were talking about, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, we were talking about how you release stress or how you get things out of your head. Well, when I think back to, I was working in Long Island and living in New Jersey, and I was working, in the Looney Tunes fashion industry, but I would drive all the way home and go right to my dance lesson. And all of a sudden I had all this energy to dance like a maniac. So it cleared everything from my brain. It was like I took a nap. Everything cleared out, and I left that sweaty and tired, but I just felt so good.
Yeah, yeah. Dancing does that. Wow, that's great. It's just really great. It reminds me of my dancing days. I used to be a professional dancer, African dance. And yeah, when you're in your element, you could just dance forever. You never get tired. You never get tired. That's just so beautiful. I just love that. That's wonderful. And the jazz part also. You dance to jazz too. Love
Yeah,
it.
jazz
Love it.
was my thing. Did you know Frank Hatchett?
No.
Oh, he had a studio in the Broadway Dance Center.
Oh,
And
no.
what's really, talk about full circle. So a client of mine, I was doing a astrology update for her and her family, and she was telling about her daughter who was into dancing, and they took the leap and went to the Broadway Dance Center, and she did a paper on Frank Hatchett. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Like this is like 50 years apart from the whole, the whole story. So there's always something connecting that brings you back.
Yeah, you could probably write a whole book about dance and what it meant in your life. That's really beautiful. No, I mostly hung out with jazz musicians, but no, I don't know that name, but thank you for sharing anyway. I love it. And I love the way your energy, your energy is just so wonderful, Lois. Always. Thank you.
I'm sweating already. I feel like I'm dancing. I'm like, oh my God.
You ready to dance?
Can I say something? What you said was very personal to you, but very universal to this group. And I am so filled up from that. You reminded me of things, and I'm always saying to you, we have a parallel life course in a certain way. And I'm just thinking of, about all of it. And there is nothing more freeing than moving, being able to move your body without thought, without anything. Mark Morris has this great dance class in the mornings called Gaga, which is like an Israeli dance form where somebody is actually saying to you, okay, now you're a piece of rope, but the beauty that comes out of our minds when we're moving, it's almost as if we're pulling it out and asking it to disperse itself. I just am envisioning you, Lois, just, sometimes as the whirling dervish and sometimes as the ballerina and whatever and whomever else. And I congratulate you. That was moving and just beautifully written.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I came in late, but as I dropped in, I could feel, you didn't even, if someone walking by hearing you read that or speak of it, it was so, to echo, I believe what everyone has said, because the bit that I got had all those elements in it. So I can only imagine what the bigger piece had. And wow, Frank Hatchett made it to Springfield, Massachusetts.
Yes.
That was like the big deal. If you Hatchet dancer in Springfield, Massachusetts, so we don't know how much removed that was, but that was like the be all and the end all. And then, I never really heard of him again, and I wasn't much for dancing other than, I took some classes, but nothing. I couldn't say that I did it really, but wow, to talk about it reaching out. And to Sue's point, I really liked what Sue said also, in that to share a story so personal and so specific with the those details, and yet other people everybody can relate to it in their own way. I think there's it's such a testament to the authenticity, like being one's authentic self and having the courage to share that.
Yeah.
I just thank you.
Thank you.
Beautifully said, Mary Beth.
Yeah.
Actually, this is what you call a good piece of memoir.
Mhm.
A piece of yourself, but at the same time, it's very universal because it touches everybody. And Jeanette, did you want to say something?
I just was inspired by the prolific writing that she had done. It was unbelievable. And I thought about maybe I should go back to writing. Maybe I should do a little bit writing, but I can't do it the way she does it. And I can't do it as beautifully written that she did. It was, as I said, so inspiring.
Well, thank you, Jeanette, but I'm sure that your voice will be just as beautiful because, when you use your voice, that's what we want to hear.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, I agree.
That's what editors are for.
That's it. That's my job. That's what I'll be doing. Yeah.
Lois, your story was beautiful and so touching. And I loved where you said that you become one with yourself or one with your heart when you get lost in the dance and the music. And I just thought that was beautiful. And it took me back to me being really into music back in my day. And I think that's where my quote meditation came in and where I could just let go and not think and be. And I love the way you shared that you became yourself and there was no labels and no judgments and you didn't care what was going on around you. And when you talked about Ray, it really touched me and brought a tear to my eye, which many things, books and movies, I just look at it as that and it does not make me cry. And it really touched me and brought a tear to my eye. And I just want to thank you for sharing that. And it was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. I think Jochen wanted to say something.
Yeah, I want to say that I know that you know that I totally agree, and you are speaking from my heart. When you say that you are in another world when you are dancing or listen to the music, and you know that I totally agree. And thank you for this beautiful essay. Thank you.
Thank you. I felt you right next to me. I hear Jochen saying, oh yeah, I get that. I get that. It's interesting how, I bring in all the people because I have like a very visual imagination. So when I think, it's not just words, it's like the whole movie's going on. So I may have a whole cast of people, hanging around with me at any given time.
Lois, I just want to say that I admire you so much for your sense of freedom. Not even a sense of freedom, it's who you are. You are so self-expressed. You don't seem to hold anything back. And you're so eloquent, though, in your expression of who you are and what you feel and what your experiences are. Your sharing is always phenomenal. And I really admire that abandon you have, that giving sense, giving with abandon of yourself. And it's so, it's very evident from the first word to the last word. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Annbeth.
Well, Lois, I just have to say that I think, I don't know if it was Sue, but it's such a universal thing. Even people who can't dance, AKA Bill, once in a while will just, instead of sitting there, it just brings us joy, the music and the movement. And, when you get lost in that, I think when you're in your element, your passion, we all have that, like there's, everything goes away around us. We're focused, we don't hear anything. We're just, in full joy. And I love kitchen dancing, you know. So anybody who's done here, I don't know if we've done kitchen dancing or not, RD and Heather, but my favorite is to put on classic rhythm and blues. And I'll be cooking and then I'll have to stop and come out and get closer to the music, and then go back in. And when my girlfriend was here, we put on, she was talking about the Beatles and seeing Paul McCartney. Everybody was reminiscing about seeing Paul McCartney. And I said, oh, we have this unplugged CD. And I guess it's hard to get. We got it a long time ago from a friend of ours. And it's handwritten. And he was in New York City somewhere. And it's just the most fabulous CD. And I put that on and we just stopped everything, went into the living room and we were eating, and then we get up from the table and dance and come back. So I agree with you that it's just, again, it makes me smile. And to what Ann Beth said, just your whole persona, you're so effervescent, and the way you write and whatever you say, I agree 100%. It's just always, I love hearing you speak, and I loved meeting you in person and spending just, sitting with you a little bit. So that was great too. So I could really tap into that from you. So I wish we had kind of danced maybe a little next time, right? But yeah, so thank you for sharing, because that's making me smile.
Thank you, Tammy.
And Miss Rita, what are your thoughts about music and dance?
Oh, I agree with everybody. It's just so wonderful to hear, Lois, your story, and to share it with us. Thank you so much. Really enjoy music, and not much of a dancer, but but the music, is really nice, and a lot of times feel one with the music. And so I can appreciate what you're saying, and appreciate your sharing.
Thank you, Rita.
And
I also enjoyed how your essay was like light and deep all at the same time, and then you even ended it with like fun, like yeah. I love the way it took you, which I guess is what they consider a great memoir, when you can do that and take the reader through all these different feelings and emotions.
Thank you, Heather.
And Miss D.
Hi. Oh my God, Lois, it was so moving, so beautiful. And it really touched me. I was raised going to dancing school. Yeah. And it was, it was fabulous and traumatic. You know how it is. It's just, it's a very deep thing to be a dancer. Even if you're not a dancer, it's everything you described. It's your soul acting itself out. It's just, there's nothing really, I don't know how to describe it truthfully, but it can actually be an out of body experience in a lot of ways. So yeah, I just want to thank you for that. It was really, really amazing. And it really brought me back a lot. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dee.
Yeah.
And Miss Linda, so good to see you this morning.
Good morning, everyone. It's good to be back. And to be back in New York. Come home, yes. Lois, that was a beautiful reading. The sentiments with everyone. It was so good hearing your story. And I'm excited about it. I'd love to hear more about your dancing and your music. And music does touch the soul, especially if just coming from a festival with music and dancing and everything. So definitely resonate with that. Very timely.
Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
Yeah, when I see Linda, I see jazz notes all around her all the time. Your journeys, you know, with your VIP music.
Well, I think, to me, music is like the sounds of the universe, the sounds of Mother Nature, the sounds of humanity. So talk about all of this combination, and we are all in this beautiful, sound bath, so to speak. And, for me, I think it's a beautiful gift from Barbara and Lois. It just feels like a continuation of the celebrations of our life. And, and I think this is so wonderful of just kind of continuing this chi energy of the celebration. So I really, really appreciate this. I am really uplifted. And, I think we can just float. And as Leticia was saying, we'll just float, from this wonderful gathering at Nancy's place, just literally being together. Or, and even the people on the Zoom, Barbara and Johan and Linda, and Dee being on Zoom. So, we are all interconnected. And I think, all of us bells, right, it has all these little bing, 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 all these little connections and universal, themes are going through all of our lives. And just by listening to Lois's story, but it really is, it touches our hearts and it touches our soul at a very deep level. And there's probably even more layers that are interconnecting at the same time, even after we finish this session here. So anyway, this is I'm just so grateful, and I just love your delivery, Lois. It's just like how Barbara delivered her essay. Your delivery of the essay, that is part of the chi energy, and that is so wonderful. All your fire element and the water element and the wood element, the creativity, and just being very clear, the metal element. So it's just, all of these aspects of who we are is a wonderful chi ball, which I really appreciate.
Mwah. Thank you.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but music and dance, it's a part of just about every culture on earth. Every culture has its music and its dance.
Yep. Yes.
Right? Yeah. It is universal. Yeah. That's wonderful. That's just really, really wonderful.
And, a lot of times I choreograph dance routines in my head. So I really hooked on this song by Freddie Mercury, Don't Stop Now. So I'm imagining I could start off doing like a foxtrot in the beginning when it's slow, and then go into like a crazy jive. Even with a costume, I'll have like a nice flowy skirt. Then I got to rip it off and go like dancing. So when I started taking the salsa lessons this summer at the studio near me, I want to go back now that all my vacation time is kind of calming down. And I thought I might take a few private lessons with the teacher and see if we could cook up a routine like that. It would just be so much fun.
Yeah. Sounds like it. Sounds like it. That's great. You inspired me. I think I'm going to go out and learn some more salsa.
Salsa's the best. It's my favorite.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't done that in years. Thank you. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's beautiful what you said, RD. That was just absolutely beautiful. I'm glad you're recording all of this. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. You see, this is what I was talking about, all the richness of the wisdom and the sharing is just priceless, really priceless.
Well,
Barbara, did you?
I'm sorry. You created a wonderful family, how we're so connected. We really can understand each other's chi. We really can, we just drop right into whoever is sharing and we really get them because we've become so familiar and connected with each other. I'm sorry, Dee, go ahead.
Oh, no, that's okay. I wasn't, did you read an essay as well, Barbara?
Yesterday, I read, yeah, it was a gift, because, I missed the gathering at Nancy's
Yeah.
place. I missed that. And so I remember, last year, remember Dee, last year?
That's right. It was last
Where
year.
RD, asked us he was reading this, I believe, some essays in the book, and he asked us to do the same thing. And I did a lot, too much, but anyway, make a long story short, for RD's birthday, I decided to just, write my essay.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, I would have been here. I'm so sorry. Was it recorded?
Yes, it was recorded, so I can
Thank
send the
God.
recording to everybody.
Excellent, excellent.
A wonderful.
Good. I wouldn't have wanted to miss that.
Nancy, I have to tell you, after I saw you in the dojo and you were doing your moves, and it was just blew me away. I had said something, I came up to the table and Bruce was there, and I had told him that what I had just seen you do, and he said, she can do any dance move. When we were young, she could pick up any dance, anytime, just like that. He goes, me, I can't dance. You have to put feet on the floor and show me which way to go, and I still can't do it.
I heard
So he was singing your praise about your dance skills.
And I think I dance like Elaine on Seinfeld. I'm not a confident dancer at all, but I did connect to something that Lois said about being in the back rows. When I was in my Kung Fu school, I spent 10 years in the back row behind my teacher's right shoulder so that I could learn the forms. He taught us everything. He taught us sword forms and fan forms and Tai Chi and Xingyi and Bagua. And it was a lot of information. And I spent a good 10 years, 3-4 days a week, following him in the back row. And it wasn't until I moved up to the front row and became the teacher. He had to go to China for a couple of months and I had to take over the classes. Then I got it. Then it felt like I knew those forms. I could teach them, I could do them. And the other interesting thing is a lot of schools use music to teach Tai Chi. They have the group synchronized to the music. If you see a group doing fan form, everybody's fan snaps at the same second and they hold for 2 or 3 seconds. It's very synchronized to the music. My teacher never, ever put music on in the school.
Correct.
He would have you close your eyes and do the form. He would have everybody start at a different time so that if I was starting the opening moves, he might start somebody on the second half of it. He wanted you to dance to your own internal music, to hear the breath, to feel the rhythm. And the hardest people to teach Kung Fu are the ballerinas, because Kung Fu is rooted in the earth. You're always telling everybody to root down, get heavy, feel the ground behind you. And the ballerinas were always up, their energy was up, they were floating up here. I'd much rather teach a sumo wrestler than try and teach a ballerina how to do Tai Chi. It's a different rhythm, it's a different song, it's a different energy, but it ends you up in the same place, feeling that you can move to your own beat and you don't have to worry about what else is going on or if it's right or if it's wrong. Just make it up.
That's great, Nancy. You just reminded me of something. Sometimes when I was learning a smooth that we would call smooth waltz or foxtrot, the teacher would have us dancing without touching. So usually, you're in a hold and you could feel your rib cages together, and that's how he leads. Well, we had to lead with energy. So we couldn't touch. We'd be just a little bit apart, and I had to follow him based on how it felt the move was going to go. So that was a really interesting, now that I think back, way of teaching.
Same in Tai Chi. We had the same thing. You'd have one person close their eyes and the second person would come up behind them and they'd have to signal when they were an inch or 2 apart. They'd have to feel the other person and follow the movements without seeing them. So it's all the same.
Wow.
Leticia.
When I was younger, I took Mexican folkloric dancing, and I used to love that. And it was a lot of discipline. And so since I was a child and up till now, when I hear Mexican folklore and I hear all those taka 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 taka, the heels on the ground, it just grounds me so much, and I just feel it also with all my, it just resonates so much in my body. And I agree with Barbara, it's in our culture and we feel it really, really deep down. We feel it, as our breath. What would we,
Well,
I
for
always
me,
tell my daughter, what would we do without music? Good Lord.
Well, for me, I'm just going to connect to what Nancy was saying about, doing all the different moves, without the music, but you do listen to the music within your mind. But then I'm observing the chi energy of our group, that we are like a symphony. So like, some people are moving over here and some people are moving over here, and we're all intertwined together and we're all dancing together, our chi. So, to me, I'm just seeing that we are all a symphony of music and souls in our hearts. And I just really, really, I don't know, I'm just enjoying this whole conversation, and it's really uplifting my chi energy. So, and it's a beautiful sunny day today here in Manhattan. And after the rainy days from the celebration, after the celebration, which was perfect. So, talk about the chi going up and down and interwoven and moving together. And so I think this is absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So on that point, any other thoughts before we go into a nice meditation?
I'm just going to say goodbye because I have
Me too.
an appointment at 1 and
Okay,
I'm going to have to get there. So love you. Thank you,
Love you,
Lois, so
Pamela.
much. Thank
I
you.
have to run
So
too.
glad
I have
you're
to run.
here.
I'm
So
going to be
glad you're here.
doing some kitchen dancing tonight.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for the video you sent, Tammy.
Oh, yeah,
That was beautiful.
I have some more pictures, but I have to